Welcome to the quietest ones in the room with your host Trey. I gotta say it, just the fact that you've clicked onto this video and you are listening to the sound of my voice, you by far are the most intelligent people on the face of the planet. So once again, thank you for joining me. So I want to play a clip from a video from a young lady that I saw online, and it resonated with me because of something I recently experienced with insurance. Now, in particular, she's talking about health insurance. And after we finish this video, I want to talk about my personal situation and what I think so many people need to begin doing to create some type of change as it pertains to insurances. So here we go.
No, because what do you mean I'm paying every single month for my health insurance, but I have to pay $9,000 before I can actually use my health insurance? What do you mean by that? So why do I have health insurance?
Simple, short clip. She's talking about deductibles. And if you're listening to this and you don't know about what a deductible is, it is a limit in terms of how much you need to pay up to then make your insurance pay more or all of whatever the incident is, whether we're talking about health insurance, auto insurance, home insurance, whatever the insurance is. The deductible is the amount you have to pay out of pocket and reach that before your insurance company begins to pay. So I want to talk about a recent situation that I experienced. So on July 10th of this month, I was in my truck driving down the highway, headed to do some work. And as I'm driving down the highway, excuse me, there was a dump truck on the highway. And as I'm passing the dump truck, I hear a crack hit my window. It was a pebble or something that I believe fell off the top of the truck. And so I take a photo as quickly as I possibly can as I'm driving on the highway with this truck, and we're both traveling at least 70 miles per hour. So I don't stop, I don't file a police report or anything like this because I'm headed to work. The crack's unfortunate, but I need to get something done. So anyhow, I decide, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to the company that created the damage, caused the damage. And so I filed a claim. Long story short, I got such a runaround with this company. When I first initially called the company, they said it would take up to 48 hours for their claims department, their insurance company, to reach out to me to get a denial or approval for the crack repair or replace for my windshield. So after about 48 hours and talking to another 5 or 6 people after I talked to the customer service representative who originally filed the claim, it took 10 days for their claims department to finally reach out to me. And would you believe it or not, that they actually denied the claim, saying that it was due to debris that was on the highway. And they would not claim liability for the damage. So the insurance company for this major company here protected the company. So then I said to myself, what am I going to do? I started thinking to myself how unfortunate it is that they denied the claim. And I'm actually going to try to sue the company for denying the claim. But after looking into things, I realized, okay, I'm going to have to use my own insurance. So I'll reach out to my insurance company looking for windshield repair or replacement, thinking that I have it in my policy. And I live in the state of North Carolina. Not sure if I mentioned that earlier in this clip, but I live in the state of North Carolina, and insurance is different state to state as it pertains to different components of your vehicle. So anyway, I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe I have some insurance coverage that will take care of it for me and I don't have to come out of pocket. So I make the call. I end up talking to a representative for a company called SafeLight. You probably heard of them before. And I'm on the phone with SafeLight, and SafeLight tells me, going back to what this young lady is talking about in the clip we watched, SafeLight says to me, you have a $1,000 deductible with your insurance provider to cover a windshield. So I say to myself, okay, well, how much is the windshield for my particular vehicle? They said $1,000 plus. I'm like, huh? Yeah, so they told me it would be $1,000 to replace the windshield on my truck. So I had to come out of pocket to pay this. And to the young lady's point, what am I paying insurance for every month if I have to pay $1,000 deductible to replace my fucking windshield? And so can you imagine that you're sick, you're in the hospital, and you've gotten some type of treatment and you think your insurance provider is going to cover it, but you only find out that your insurance provider is telling you that in order for them to cover anything, you need to at least come out of pocket by $9,000. There are so many people who go through this. When my wife and I had our children, we've had to pay deductibles before the insurance kicked in. And it's unfortunate that's how insurance works. And I truly think that the way to change it is to start filing lawsuits against so many of the insurance providers. Put them on blast, just like this young lady's doing. I wish that she would have mentioned who the insurance provider is. I guess I can mention who my insurance provider is, which is Progressive. But I wish she had mentioned for my auto insurance. I wish she had mentioned who her healthcare provider is, so that someone may think twice about going with that healthcare provider. Because why pay for insurance every month? And we know it's expensive. And they will find any and every way to not allow you to utilize the money that you've been putting into their pockets over time. Think about people who have home insurance. They find out that certain things aren't covered because they didn't meet deductibles and there was a fire, or they damaged the garage at their home, or they broke a window, or there was a high wind event and that broke a window at the home. So you think about this and it's just ridiculous how much money insurance companies make, and they will not do their part when it comes time to assist you as a person who has been providing them revenue over time. I recall when I was in college and my aunt had a vehicle that I was driving at the time. There was a crack in the windshield and she was able to get it replaced at no cost. That was some time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. And the thing is that things have changed so much in the last 10 and 15 years in terms of how insurance companies operate. So if you're frustrated about insurance, I 100% understand. It's often bullshit how they operate. And yes, it makes people very upset when they're going through different situations and the insurance companies will not assist. They won't assist. They will not help if that deductible is not covered. And I think some things need to change. I think that even insurance companies, as I think about it now, even if they're like, hey, you have a deductible, but you can make some type of payments towards it in certain situations where they're like, okay, if you can cover X amount, 25% in this time frame, we can take care of the rest. It should be more fluid is what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous how they get away with not helping their customers. So anyway, that's my thoughts. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. Look, it's been a hot day, a hot week here in the Raleigh area. I don't know where you reside, but it's hot. This heat wave is kicking ass all across this state. And hopefully you live somewhere where you're not having to experience this extreme weather. But anyway, stay safe. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.